Hey guys, Max15 here. Welcome back to another episode of Boom Beach. Tonight we're going to show you a couple of replays that we did with RZCM. The funny thing about tonight's episode is that you're going to see a little progression in the boost that we use for the attacks because, well, just take a look. So the first base that we attacked here is one of the global players, or a 2093 victory points. But notice the boost that I went in with. I only went in with one troop damage. The troop damage masterpiece and the gunboat energy masterpiece boosted. I didn't boost the guardian, I didn't boost the troop health because he only had 6 ice statues and none of them were boosted, so I wanted to take advantage of that. And I thought I could save the power powder, but eventually as I kept on attacking one after the other, the bases got harder and harder, and eventually just went in full boost with my 4 offensive statues, which it was a waste. I should have just gone full boost from the beginning. But anyhow, so this base I particularly attacked with 4 offensive statues and only 2 boosted. So smoke all the troops to the corner there. I took down 2 of the rocket launchers, and because I had a little bit of gunboat energy left, I dumped it on the remainder of rocket launcher. Critters right in the middle there to distract the 2 shot launchers to try to buy my time, my guys a little bit more time, and just let them kind of spread out. So more 2 artillery shells to finish off the 1 rocket launcher, and at this point I didn't have to worry about any super long range rocket. So all I had to worry about was the mortars and the shot launchers. So I put the critters right there next to that vault to kind of distract the shot launchers, but for some reason they weren't really locking onto them and they kept on shocking my troops, so that was a little bit of annoying. Eventually it did work, but not as well as I wanted to. That one shot right there was pretty great because I was able to shock the shot launcher, boom cannon, and flamethrower, which are all destructive defenses. So anyhow, one more shot launcher on the second one more shock bomb on the second shot launcher. Too many things with the word shock in this game. But once that went down, there was only a couple of boom cannons and mortars to deal with. My troops were kind of thinning down a lot, but nothing you could do at this point. You kind of just have to keep on going with your raid. So I thought about reflaring to the upper left first to take down the shield generator, but there were just so many mines up there next to that flamethrower, so I didn't think it was worth it. Instead I threw critters, and I was trying to save for shocks to shock the boom cannon and the mortar there. So then flare straight to the mortar, and then after that I think the boom cannon, anything that had range we had to flare to. Oh, the machine gun rather there. And then I think they will go, yeah, then there goes the boom cannon, and I think lastly the one sniper tower there. So once they took down all the defenses, actually we cleared out the entire base. The only thing that was standing I think was the shield generator and like 1 sniper tower in the bottom corner there. So we can go 2 times the speed here and just finish it off 4 times the speed. So this was actually a pretty easy base with only 2 of my statues boosted. For the next attack you'll see a little bit more boost. Oh, actually no, we did leave 1 sniper tower and the stone storage in the upper left there. Alright, so that was a pretty good base. Let's see. The next base though, the boost, we changed the boost, and this time we boosted the troop health. So we have 3 out of the 4 statues boosted. Again, I don't know why I encountered these bases with no boost on their ice statues. So 5 ice statues, none of them boosted. They have a shield generator and a shot launcher. So I took down one of the rocket launchers and the shot launcher that was furthest back. So that left me with 2 rocket launcher and the 1 shot launcher in the middle there. So critters right behind the cannon to distract the rocket launchers, and thought I heard the door there. And what were they distracting? The shot launcher and the rocket launcher, sorry. So 1 shock right there on the flamethrower and the rocket launcher there. Just kind of let the troops move in, spread out as much as they can. My priority rather was is the shot launcher and the shock blaster, because those are the things that do the most damage. Not so much the rocket launchers because they weren't boosted. So I wasn't decided if I wanted to flare or not yet at this point, but because the troops were doing a pretty good job of spreading out, I thought maybe I don't need to reflare just yet, and just wanted to see where my troops were going to take me. I think I said this base had 5 ice statues, but really it has 7 ice statues. There's 2 more ice statues on the upper left there, if you notice, next to that cannon. So 7 ice statues, which is quite a lot of boost, although none of them boosted, but it's still, just by having the ice statues, it always poses a danger to your troops. So my troops were doing actually really well. As soon as I wanted to destroy that one flamethrower, but I missed it, so I had to throw an artillery shell to finish it off, and then just kind of regroup my troops in the bottom there. I don't think the troops alone were going to be able to take down the shield generator, so I had no other option. I thought maybe if I flare to that mortar, they can take down the mortar, then the Zukas will just naturally fan out to the boom cannon and the machine gun, and that's exactly what they did, thank goodness. So after that, the last machine gun goes down, and I think we can just go straight into the HQ, and that was a bit of a lucky win there. That's not exactly the plan that I had started off with, but you know what, sometimes you improvise and you readjust your strategy midway through the attack, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, actually a lot of times it doesn't, but when it does, then it's good. 4 smokes to celebrate right there at the end, and that was a 7 ice statue base, so pretty sweet. Alright guys, so it's that time of the episode where we're gonna review somebody else's base. So this time we're visiting Boombreakers, which seems to be an Indian task force, and Nithin Kshatriya. If that's Kshatriya from Gundam, then that's freaking awesome. If that's a word that's an Indian word that's not from Gundam, then I'm sorry for being such an ignorant. But if it is from Gundam, then it's freaking awesome. From Gundam Unicorn, as I presume. Anyways, Nithin right here, he's the leader of the task force with 1,105 victory point. Oh, by the way, did you check out the background? It's pretty sweet, right? I just figured that the photo booth thing on the iMac can do this. I mean, it's kind of choppy, but I thought it just makes it up for fun. Anyways, Nithin here wanted me to check out his base, and he says that he's number... Where is he? Well, he wants to become number 1 in India. So yeah, he's from India. And he needs 1,300 victory points to be number 1 in India. So how can he get there? In my opinion, his base is looking actually pretty good. He has the correct layout. The defenses are well placed. Maybe these two are a little too close together. I can shock all of that stuff together. So I would separate the shock launcher a little bit. Same for the shock launcher, shock blaster. I can shock those together. But for the rest, you have a shield generator 3 going on. You have a shock blaster 3 going on, which is pretty good. The only problem I'm having here is you do have 2 ice statues because I can see it on the specs. But do you really need 5 gunboat energy? I mean, I know a lot of people like to have gunboat energy, but if you're going to be boosting, maybe you don't need that many. I reckon if you change at least one of these Guardians for a 3rd ice, so 3 ice statues, and you can boost all of them, you can get to 1,300 and no problem. I mean, you're only less than 200 victory points away, so you can certainly do it. I'm not sure what kind of troops you're using, but as long as you're not using warriors, because I know warriors need a lot of gunboat energy. But Nathan, if you can just use RZCM or Heavy Zuka with 4 gunboat energy, that's a lot of gunboat energy already. Boosted, I can't even imagine because I've never had that much, but you can definitely get to 1,300 with just being active, play often, have your 3 ice statues, boost all of them. I think you said, did you tell me how much gunboat energy, how much power powder you have? And you do have 530, that's plenty. You can probably get top 50 global with that. But anyways, if 1,300 is your goal, it's a very attainable goal. And with 3 ice statues, I reckon you can definitely do it. So go ahead, try it out. Let me know how that goes. Okay, best of luck to you. So the last base that we have here it's a base that we've beaten several times in the past. 9 ice statues, masterpieces boosted. I don't know really how I kind of managed them. It did take me a couple of tries, but anyways. We went in with a 3-3-1-1 ratio, so 3 boats of rifle, 3 boats of Zukas, 1 boat of medics, and 1 cryoneers, because I needed the extra firepower because he has so much ice. So I guess this is the equivalent of 2, 3, 4, 5.5 boosted ice statues. So, quite a bit of boosted ice. And by now, if you notice, we also went in full boost. All of my 4 offensive statues boosted. So I had to throw a shock on the flamethrower and the rocket launcher, and then a smoke on the other flamethrower. The 2 flamethrowers at the corner were just decimating my troops, so I had to take those out of commission as quickly as possible. Also, I did take down the 2 rocket launchers in the beginning with gunboat energy, and then I just had to finish off the last rocket launcher right there. So you guys can see all those ice statues. Actually pretty intimidating when you're looking at them. I kept on throwing critters right in the middle of the base because I needed those to distract the shot launchers, which they did on occasion, but not always as bad. I think it's because I always mistime it, like those little microseconds that you take to deploy those critters. But anyhow, no point on, there's no sense on, trying and failing, I suppose. So right there, I had to reflare backwards, but I mistimed it yet again, so I had to finish up the one-shot launcher with an artillery shell, and that actually cost me a lot because that was like my 5th or 6th artillery shell in a row already. Anyhow, fortunately the shot blaster was all the way in the back, so that never really posed a threat up until the very end of the raid. So once my troops kind of gathered on the top corner left there, in the top left corner rather, put some critters, mainly those were for the mines, and because I needed them to distract the boom cannon and the sniper tower. And then I think I had a lot of gunboat energy at this point still remaining. Well, not a lot, but enough for a couple of shocks, so I was trying to save shocks. I only had like 2 rifles left, or maybe just 1 left, but I had a pretty good amount of Zukas. But this base, I beat him, but it came down really, really close. And you'll see why in a second. So another shock on the shock blaster. Man, those mines were so dangerous. Threw some critters to distract anything that I could. And if you notice, I will click on the boom cannon on the bottom left there in a moment, and you'll see because the range of that thing it's exactly what saved me. So waited until those 2 machine guns went down, flared to the 1 boom cannon on the bottom left, let my troops take him down. I am just bleeding troops at this point. Let them take down the 1 machine gun and then flare them all the way back there. But through a smoke, I think I was down to like 4 Zukas or 5 Zukas only. So, and we can go 2 times the speed here. And look, when I clicked, 2 of those Zukas were just out of range of that boom cannon, because in one of those failed tries in the beginning, I was left with like 1 Zuka right there in the corner. And, I timed out. I lost because of time. But in here, that 2 Zukas were still standing out of range. So the boom cannon just kind of picked on the medics, and I eventually beat him. But it took me a few tries, though. I'm not going to lie. It was a pretty tough base. And right there, my recording device kind of ended, so I don't have any... that's where the recording ended. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos. If you wanted me to take a look at your base and just comment or feature it in the channel, drop me a message down below. Just don't flood me with too many bases at a time, because I can only do 1 base per video. But I think it's kind of fun to have other people's bases feature in the videos. Alright guys, so until then, I'm Max2015. I'll see you guys next time, guys. Bye.